Welcome to Ask Sean, where I explore all sorts of questions about life, relationships, and being human. I'm Sean Slevin, a licensed professional counselor and a licensed marriage and family therapist. And if you have a question for me, you can submit that anonymously at asksean.org. So I've been reflecting on my week this week. I have had, I guess it feels like an unusually in sync week. I have felt particularly in sync with myself and with my life. And it's been a full week of work and other things and other activities. But I don't know, I haven't felt as out of sync as I sometimes can feel. And I was really noticing that today in my riding lesson, my horseback riding lesson. I'm working on being able to sit the canter. If you're not familiar with horseback riding, so there's walking, there's trotting, which you may have heard that term, and then there's the canter, and there's also gallop and whatnot. But so the canter is a particular gait; it's a particular way of that the horse moves. And one of the things I'm aspiring to is being able to sit that as opposed to having to be kind of up out of the seat. And I was just so struck by, I just felt so in sync with the horse today. And especially going one direction in particular, but both directions, I can have a tendency to kind of brace a little bit. I can, so I can get a little bit stiff and then like start, just not flowing, if you will, like that, like this, to be able to sit the canter, like you really have to be able to, not be floppy, but you have to be in sync. You have to be able to move with the horse's rhythm, so that you're not like bouncing against them and whatnot. And yeah, so it was really interesting to me, just even the contrast from a lesson that I had several days ago that was a decent lesson, but yeah, it just today was comparatively much smoother, and sometimes that's just that just happens, just I'm in the in the right spot or whatever, kind of physically, mentally. But I've been feeling this way about my week. I was thinking about this already before going to my lesson today. I've been thinking about the past day or two that just I don't know, it's just been a curious week. And I think some of that may be like environmental, like some in the sense of like some things outside of my control that have just have set me up well, and like some things that have contributed to better sleep, some factors that I don't have control over but that have helped me have better sleep. But when I think about, okay, what are the elements that I have had control over, that have been different this week? The thing that stands out to me the most is I feel like I have paid attention to my body better, which is, I mean, this is something I'm always working at. So, this is degrees, right? Yeah, I just feel like I've listened to my body really well this week. And so it was interesting to feel that in the horseback riding, like, because part of the bracing is I'm sort of fighting my body a bit, like, because a part of me is like, I'm a little scared, and a part of me is like, okay, we're trying to relax, trying to let go, and it's like, and so it can just be a jumbled mess. I mean, that's maybe not fair. It's not a jumbled mess, but it can feel a little bit like that. It's progressively getting better and whatnot, but yeah, compared to today, it was just like, man, it felt so much smoother. So I just did not feel in conflict with myself or with the horse's motion. And so when I think about like sleep, for example, like I don't know, something has been different inside of me psychologically this week in terms of how I'm just really respecting my bedtime. I'm not like sort of trying to squeeze in one more thing. And I took a nap the other day. I mean, and honestly, it was a 5-minute nap. It was like really short, but I really entered into that nap. Like, I was actually surprised that it was only 5 minutes, because I like dropped in really deep and I was like really let go. And it was really restful. And then I kind of like sort of woke up from it. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm ready to go now. Like, I'm ready to kind of do some more things. I don't know. Not every 5-minute nap is that is that powerful, maybe. But I don't know. It speaks to something. I don't know. There's these ways psychologically and physiologically this week that I just feel like I'm not. I don't know. I'm not trying to do so much, and yet I've had a very full week. Like, I've done a lot. But there's this quality that I'm trying to tease out here of I can have a tendency to just I want to squeeze in one more thing, and then, let me tack in one more thing onto the day or whatever, or onto this few moments I have in between things. And efficiency, whatever, that's all fine. But that feeling of trying to squeeze something in, there's something about that that's yucky, that's not good for me. Or there's a way that I tend to do that that's not good for me. And I haven't done that this week. I think there's been a greater acceptance of just nope, these are my limits, and I'm going to bed, or I've got to lay down for a minute, or I've got to step away from my computer or whatever. So I don't know, I'm gonna continue to be chewing on this and whatnot. But it just, I don't know, it felt worth here sharing in a video. It's so powerful when we actually manage to listen to our bodies. I think our bodies are telling us a lot of the things that we need to know. That's the interesting thing, is it's a lot of answers are already inside of us, in our body and in our psyche. It's hard to access them. It's hard to listen to them. That's so much of the battle. So yeah, we'll see. I might, on my earlier lesson this week, my trainer took a little bit of video of me cantering. I was not sitting the canter in that. It was some decent riding for me, but it wasn't nearly as smooth as today. But she doesn't take videos of my riding very often, but I might see if I can tack on one or two of those here at the end of this, after the credits, for those of you that have watched this far. Could be a little fun. But yeah, my invitation to you is, what is your body telling you? What are your insides telling you that that might be within reach for you to listen to? What do you need to say no to, and what do you need to say yes to? Because it's both matter. It's not just about saying no to things. It's also about saying yes to things. So yeah. Well, until next time, peace be with you.
Keep that leg. At the next turn, come across your diagonal, and you'll do a lead change and track left. Little more leg. Keep your upper body still. And back to your trot. Check your diagonal. Now walk. Change. Ah. Circle. Keep that leg tight. You're going to do one more change. Flex him.